Well, it's a new year, and that means new shows and new surprises.
I know, surprises like you're back from study abroad, and I'm not in the control room, which is clearly where I belong.
That's not true, Laura.
Yeah, just give it like 5 minutes.
Okay, well, coming up on the show, we reminisce on an exciting win for men's basketball.
And we look back at soccer, volleyball, and football. Sports Mag starts right now.
Hello and welcome to this year's first edition of CU Sports Mag. I'm Alec Moylan, and sitting to my right is the lovely Laura Kuchkowski.
Oh, thanks, Alec. Really impressed when anyone can say my name that easily, my last name.
Yeah, I practiced that for a while.
Well, congratulations. Well, on to more important things. This past Wednesday, the men's basketball team took on Stanford. When the last time these two met in California, the Buffs lost by 1.
Thankfully, this wasn't the story with the Buffs this week. This week, the Buffs took on Stanford Cardinals, hoping for redemption after a heartbreaking loss in California. While the Buffs struggled in the second half against the Cardinals in the first meeting, wings George King and Josh Fortune finished this week's game with over 20 points each.
Tad Boyle had said the two wings needed to shoot well, and both Fortune and King hit 5 3-pointers, helping the Buffs solidify their 14-point lead entering the second half. But on the other side of three-pointers, the Buffs were extremely impressive on rebounds.
This game has been the best appearance so far against any Pac-12 team so far this season. The Buffs were able to consistently share the ball, which resulted in 21 rebounds on 27 baskets.
Thankfully, because of the unselfish plays coming from the Buffs, Stanford was never able to get within single digits during the second half, and the Buffs were able to pull out a win with a final score of 91-75. And coming off of that impressive win against Stanford, head coach Tad Boyle addressed the media on the Buffs' ability to create separation between Pac-12 standings.
I'm proud of all of our guys tonight, and it's a step in the right direction. We talked on Monday at practice about this being a week of separation, and this is a step in that separation. We have to continue that on Sunday, so we can't get too high off this win. We took care of business, beat a good, solid team.
On Sunday, the men's basketball team will return to Coors to take on California in the latest of a 2-game homestand. Just a few weeks ago, on New Year's Day, the Bears handed the Buffs a tough loss and soured CU's hopes of an undefeated year. Just kidding. They weren't hoping for that. But this game still offers a chance at redemption. Cal's averaging 75 points per game and can still put up a fight despite a weak road record in order to stop their high-powered offense. The Buffs will have to stay strong in the paint against their front court combo of Jaylen Brown and Tyrone Wallace and keep the threes going on offense. Look for a high-scoring contest on Sunday at Coors Event Center. Tip-off is at 3 p.m. You can always count on CU students to have something interesting to say. Audrey Rodriguez took campus this week to talk men's basketball for Man on the Street.
Hi everyone, my name is Audrey Rodriguez. It is a beautiful day outside. We're on Norland Quad, and today we're going to be asking fellow CU students about the CU men's basketball team. How far do you see the CU men's basketball team advancing this season?
I don't know. I haven't been keeping up with them that well. I would say more than likely that they might have a little bit of success in conference, but then I'm guessing they won't make the NCAA tournament.
I would say we're going to make the tournament and probably lose in the first or second round. All the way.
I would hope for it. I don't really know how they're doing. I don't follow the team.
What do you think our record is so far?
Record is 15-5, 14-5, 14-6.
15-5. They've won most of them, but I feel like they have like 2 or some losses.
Do you see March Madness happening this year for us?
I do. I have 100% faith in our basketball team. I think they've hit March Madness in years past, and I think they'll do it this year.
I don't know if we can go all the way, but we can definitely make it pretty far.
I could see us going to March Madness. I think we're one of the best teams in the conference.
Who do you think this year's team leader is?
I couldn't name one player.
I have no idea.
Definitely Josh Scott. He's been that way for the last few years.
Would you say winning at home or winning on the road is more beneficial for the team?
Winning at home, just because our sports teams haven't done that well across the board, and when a team wins at home, it really increases all the student confidence in our sports program overall.
Pac-12 is such a deep conference that I would say winning on the road is more important because we've got such an advantage playing at Coors Event Center that we're always going to win there.
Well, it's fun to win at home, but I think it's more beneficial to win on the road because that shows you can play at home and away.
Well, that's all the time we have today, everyone. I'm Audrey Rodriguez. This is Man on the Street, reporting for CU Sports Mag. Have a great day.
There are many names that have come and gone through Colorado basketball that people will recognize. Tom Apke is one of those names. Apke coached the CU men's basketball team for a total of 5 seasons, from 1981 to 1986. He's set to come back and visit this weekend for what's being called an Apke-era reunion. Many past players, staffers, and assistants will also be coming back for the reunion, so it's going to be an exciting weekend. Come out on Sunday to see them all be introduced and support your Buffs.
Well, National Girls and Women in Sports Day, hosted by the women's basketball team, has been rescheduled. Instead of being on January 24th, it will now be celebrated on Sunday, February 21st. There will be free sports and skills station hosted by the CU female student athletes. There will also be an autograph session with your favorite athletes, followed by the women's basketball, which tips off against Cal at noon. To purchase tickets, go to cubuffs.com/tickets. We want to see you at Coors Event Center for all the action. Well, coming off the win from this week, we here at Sports Mag thought we would have a little fun with each other and test each other's knowledge on basketball. Here for our brand new Trivia Showdown is the new and competitive version of Double Team, hosted by Aaron Sullivan.
Hey there, Sports Mag viewers. Put on your Buffalo Horn headbands and get ready to charge into this week's special version of Double Team. I, Aaron Sullivan, will be your host for tonight's trivia battle. I'm here with Sports Mag's very own Jake Feldman and Mitch Sanchez to see what these buffs know about men and women's basketball. You boys ready?
Yep.
All right, the first question is, this season, what is the average number of points that Josh Scott scores per game?
C, 22. B, 14.6.
Oh, so close, guys. It's actually D, 17.3. All right, the second question is, where did head coach Tad Boyle attend college?
A, CSU. B, Texas.
Once again, neither of you. It's actually C, Kansas. Good thing he came to Colorado, though. Next question. On the women's team, how many of the players are actually Colorado natives?
2.
4? It's actually just one of them, unfortunately, but hey, at least they're all here now. All right, another question about the women. After an 11-game winning streak against this team, they actually lost this season to them. Who is it?
Arizona.
Oregon?
Arizona. Good job, Mitch. 1 point for Mitch. All right, final question. On the men's side, the first time that they had a meeting with Stanford, they won by a very close margin. What was that?
D2.
C9?
Close. It's B, just 1 point. What a game that must have been. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and have some Buffalo spirit and say that you guys had a nice tie. You guys can brawl it out later. So this season, the women started off with a solid 6 wins and only a few losses. But unfortunately, they've had a 9-game losing streak. But tonight at 7 p.m., the ladies are taking on UCLA here in Boulder. So Jake, how do you think that game's going to go tonight?
Well, when your team is this close to the bottom of the league in most offensive categories, finding things to fix is very difficult. And in this upcoming game versus UCLA, the Buffs, who are last in Pac-12 in field goal percentage and number 11th in scoring and are on a 9-game losing streak, Jamie Swan really better do something.
Definitely, I agree. Hopefully they can pull something out tonight. So the men have had a very consistent season. They dominated the game against Stanford on Wednesday this week. They're actually playing this Sunday against California. How do you think they're going to do, Mitch?
Well, I think on Wednesday they performed very well. George King's 5 for 5 on the free throws, which there's only been one other CU student that's performed better. I think they're going to do very well against the Golden Bears. The Bears right now are 0-4 on away games in conference play, so they're just really not good away from their home court. And we're doing really well at home, and I think the boys have been warmed up on Wednesday, and so they're ready to go right into it on Sunday, and and win.
Yep, I think they're going to get the W. Well, thank you, Jake and Mitch, for being with me. That's all the time we have. I'm Erin Sullivan. Back to you guys at the desk.
In association with CU Athletics, the nation's second largest retail mortgage lender, Quicken Loans, is offering a fan sweepstakes. This exciting new opportunity allows supporters to earn a season pass for the men's 2016-17 season. The sweepstakes is now open for contestants. But to be eligible, you must be at least 18 years old and be a U.S. citizen. So, will you be the lucky winner?
In an age of Googling, browsing to Wikipedia, and asking Siri, we're asking you to put away the technology and see if you can answer this week's trivia question from pure brain power. Not gonna lie, it's a pretty tough one. The men's basketball team currently has an impressive record of 16 wins and 5 losses. So we want to know, what is the team's record this year when they wear white uniforms? Stick around because we'll have that answer at the end of the show. Coming up next, the track and field team had an outstanding performance at the Air Force Invitational.
And the ski team hit the slopes in Steamboat this past weekend. We'll tell you how they did when we come back.
No, I am not, man. Dude, it's on my phone. Oh, the road! Whoa! Okay.
How would you like to save your life from an ugly or reckless driving death? Don't answer yet. There's more. Act now by slowing down, and we'll guarantee you complete satisfaction.
That's awesome!
In the real world, there is no spokesperson to prevent reckless driving. There's only you. Speak up.
Whoa, Andy, slow down.
Nice. Hey, guys. Ooh, I've been looking for that. Has Legal seen this?
Yeah. Cheryl, what happened to your,
Oh, yeah, I know. If it gets any worse, I'll have it checked out.
Worse? How could it get worse?
Yeah, maybe we should call somebody?
I'm fine.
You wouldn't ignore this, so why ignore the signs of a stroke? At the first warning signs, call 911 immediately, because time lost is brain lost.
CU Lacrosse had a special addition to the team this week. The Buffs adopted 7-year-old Levi, who's recovering from brain cancer. Levi joined the Buffs for their preseason practice and learned alongside the team on how to handle a lacrosse stick and how to bury goals. Levi and his family relocated to Denver from their home in Kansas to be closer to the Children's Hospital. The Buffs will open the 2016 season on February 12th against the University of Denver.
On January 24th, our ski team finished third at our very own Spencer James Nelson Memorial Invitational. Head coach Bruce Kramer said it wasn't the outcome they were looking for, but he's optimistic about future events. The Buffs now get a little break before the second half of their season starts off in New Mexico on February 20th and 21st. Kramer said that the break is at the perfect time and they are looking forward to a successful end to their season.
The new year looks bright for the women's track and field team. The team is led by a pair of freshmen who put in dominant performances during the Air Force Invitational this past weekend. Tabor Scroll and Alyssa Mann were dominant in the 800-meter run, finishing first and second place respectively. Sophomore Anna Holland contributed to the Buffs' dominant performance as she equaled her collegiate best to win the 200-meter dash and put an exclamation point on the women's team win.
And the men's track and field team also started off the year on a positive note. They received multiple top 5 finishes at the U.S. Air Force Academy Open. Senior Brady Root placed second in the weight throw, and freshman Dwayne McClurkin Jr. placed third in the men's high jump, just 2 inches away from first place. With 3 other top 5 finishes, the men's track and field team looked poised to be a strong force this year in the Pac-12 competition.
It's the year of El Nino, so I hope you've been taking advantage of all the fresh powder. If not, CU's ski team has. Christine Lambert has the latest on the CU Shredders on this week's edition of Buff Banner.
Hey Buff fans, welcome to another fabulous edition of Buff Banter. I'm Christine Lambert and I'm here to update you on some CU sports. So far in the show, we've talked about track and field, men's and women's basketball, and a little bit of CU winter sports. But let's continue to hit the slopes and see what the skiers are up to this season. So far this year, the Buffs have not placed below second place. They even ended up tying with Denver for the first place spot out of 8 teams. That was on the last day of the Utah Invitational back on January 10th. Right about now, you might be wondering, where in the world did all of these amazing skiers come from? Well, I'm not sure how much you know about Colorado's ski team, but they're a pretty diverse bunch. We have 6 members from Colorado, which may sound like a lot, but wait until you hear where the majority of the rest of the team is from. 13 out of 25 of the skiers are from Scandinavia. That's right, I mean Finland, Norway, and Sweden. 4 more of them are from other places around the world, not the United States. That means almost 70% of the Buff ski team is from somewhere outside of the United States. If you ask me, that's all the proof we need to know that the Rocky Mountains have some of the best skiing in the world. One of our Norwegians, junior Mads Strom, won his 7th career race back at the Utah Invitational earlier in January, despite crashing. Freshman Ola Johansson has also been killing it, especially for his first season as a college competitor. He won the giant slalom race and the same invitational as Strom's win up in Park City. The ski team is stuck in Colorado for about the next month, but that should give them plenty of time to be prepared for the New Mexico Invitational, which starts on Saturday, February 20th. The Invitational lasts 2 days and will take place in Red River, New Mexico. For those of you who will be able to attend, stay warm. But for the rest of you stuck at home, like I will be, tune in to SportsMag next week and we will have those results for you. Once again, I'm Christine Lambert. Let's toss it back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Christine. Well, last weekend, the Colorado women's tennis team traveled to Albuquerque, New Mexico to play against the University of Texas at El Paso. The Buffaloes had a very successful weekend, handing their first loss to UTEP of the season. A large factor for this win, which was in the doubles lineup, which led to the Buffs' first time sweeping the doubles this season. This win helped the Buffs improve their record, making it 2-1, bumping UTEP down, making their record 3-1.
The tennis team will be back home in Boulder this weekend, playing against Denver and Boise State. Both these matches will be played at the Rocky Mountain Tennis Center at the Millennium Harvest House. If you can't make out the game, live updates will be available online at cubuffs.com, so you can still cheer your Buffs on. The match against Denver will be on Saturday starting at 1 p.m., followed by the match against Boise State on Sunday starting at 11. Coming up after the break, the volleyball team has continued to expand on their new coaching staff.
And the soccer team wraps up their season by celebrating with an annual team banquet. All this and more next.
About to run into trouble again.
Hey, Bobo, where's your video game? In here. Oh, look at this. Uh-oh, it's my dad's. You want to hold it? What'll I do?
If you get my new comic activity book, More Adventures with Scruff, you'll find out what you can do about bullies and guns. And you'll see lots of games.
Cool.
For your free copy of my new comic activity book, just write Scruff McGruff, Chicago, Illinois, 60652, and help take a bite out of crime.
I want it. You know trouble can start when the clock hits 3. When there's no place after school for kids to be. Nothing to do but hanging on city streets. When mom and dad are working to make ends meet. Now it's time to beat the street.
With after-school programs, city kids aren't left alone and vulnerable. They keep on learning between 3 and 6, but these programs need your support. Join with the Urban League to keep them going. Call now, because it's
time to beat the street.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
Good nutrition can lead to great things. Find out how a healthy lifestyle can help your child succeed.
Well, on Tuesday, newly appointed head coach for the volleyball team, Jessie Mahoney, added a stud coach to her staff. Colorado native Evan Sanders, who served as a volunteer assistant for last year's NCAA runner-up at the University of Texas, will now be serving as the assistant head coach for the Buffaloes. Sanders played 3 years under Coach Mahoney when he was the assistant coach at CSU's. Sanders has also played professional internationally as well as professionally for the league, the Florida Wave. Welcome, Coach Sanders.
The volleyball team celebrated their season that wrapped up in December with their annual morning banquet. Last weekend, they gathered to celebrate their overall record of 19-13, as well as a 5th overall place in the Pac-12 conference rankings. In addition, new head coach Jessie Mahoney was introduced and was officially made part of the team's coaching staff. Sadly, the day was also a day of goodbyes as the team bid adieu to the graduating seniors. The overall feeling was positive as the Buffs look forward to next season with the brand new coaching staff.
The Colorado women's soccer team also closed out the 2015 season with a banquet over the weekend. The team was recognized for their hard work and impressive performance as the Pac-12 competitor players Danica Evans, Maddie Krauser, Sarah Kisner, Kate Sheely, Kenzie Tillett were presented with the team awards honoring their individual excellence. Through the season, thank you girls for all of your hard work, and you can watch the Buffs this fall in the upcoming season on Buffs TV and Pac-12 networks.
Get ready to flex those muscles, Buff fans. The football team made a chance earlier this month when they announced that Drew Wilson will be the team's new strength and conditioning director. Wilson spent last season with the University of Maryland, where he held the same title. Coach Mack is hoping Wilson can have a positive impact on the team that was heavily affected by injuries last year. May the gains be plentiful for the football team in the upcoming season.
Well, freshman quarterback Sharon Jones has been released from his scholarship, and CU's football roster head coach Mike McIntyre has decided that it is the young quarterback's best interest to return to his original school in Tennessee, and the NCAA rule states that a player can return to their original team within 14 days of withdrawing. Over the past couple of weeks, Jones expressed that his needs and concerns now lie with Tennessee.
There are currently 7 CU grads in the NFL, most notably speaking Mason Crosby of the Green Bay Packers, Nate Soldier of the New England Patriots, and most recently wide receiver Paul Richardson of the Seattle Seahawks. Crosby only missed 3 field goals the whole season, while Richardson is working hard to get back to full strength on the field after devastating knee injury during last year's playoffs. Nate Soldier, one of the most prolific CU linemen of all time, is the 35th former Buff to win a Super Bowl and the first since 2011. There's a long line of CU players in the NFL, and we wish the best to the future players who will grace the NFL field in the upcoming seasons.
Well, after these couple of lovely commercials, we will finally give you that trivia answer that we know you've really been searching for.
And our favorite and fastest segment, Rapid Fire. Coming next.
Rapid Fire is next. Stay tuned, Buffs.
America's toughest drug enforcement agents. Last year, she helped convict 90 drug dealers, seize several tons of crack and marijuana, and close down 10 major drug operations. She is a 68-year-old grandmother named Irma. She set up a community drug watch that is not only changing her neighborhood, but its future. There are many ways to help in your community. Call the Points of Light Foundation. Do something good. Feel something real.
Lewis and Clark, great explorers.
Hi, I'm Thomas Jefferson. Would you check out the West for me? Oh, sure.
And they take their keelboat up the Missouri.
Oh, Buffalo. Then they built Fort Mandan. They're at 1804. Made some friends along the way. I'm Secretary Will.
Through the Columbia Gorge.
There are tons of ways to help with your kids' learning. Find the really good ones on connectforkids.org.
A sweet Pacific Ocean. Yeah!
This house was almost saved.
from a fire that was almost put out, by neighbors who almost volunteered. As generous a nation as we are, sometimes instead of giving, we almost give. But almost giving is the same as not giving at all.
Oh, those boys are much too much. Those boys are much too much. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We're gonna beat them and bust them. Beat them.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Let's get a little bit rowdy. R-O-W-D-Y.
Take time to be a
One more
dad today.
time. Oh, those boys are much too much. Those boys.
CU is honoring 2 women athletes for their performances in 2015. Erin Clark for the cross country and Esther Lee for golf. Winning her second straight Rocky Mountain Shootout and NCAA pre-nationals, Erin Clark ended her first 2 meets undefeated. Clark scored her All-American honor by placing 11th in the NCAA championship, leading the Buffs to a second-place team finish. CU golfer Esther Lee finished her 2014-15 season with a 73.03 stroke average, one of the best seasons in CU's history. She led the team with 3 top 5 finishes and is awarded CU Female Athlete of the Year honors, as well as being the first Buff ever to be named the All Pac-12 first team. Congratulations to both these women and their accomplishments.
I wish I could remember all the CU sporting events for the week. Wait, that's why we have Alex Vidger to give us the lowdown on this week's edition of Rapid Fire.
Hello, Buff fans. I hope you guys are ready for an unreal weekend of sports. I'm Alex Vidger, and I'll be telling you about all the upcoming sporting events you can catch this weekend. This Saturday, January 30th, our tennis team plays Denver University at 1 p.m. at the Millennium Harvest House here in Boulder. Coach Nicole Kinley has been very optimistic about this season. She believes her team is more balanced than ever, and they have a great shot at the NCAA tournament. More good news involving tennis. On Sunday, January 31st at 11 a.m., they play Boise State at the Millennium Harvest House. This is supposed to be a very good match, Buff fans. Be there or be square. We also have a doubleheader. Men's basketball plays Cal Sunday, January 31st at 3 p.m. at Coors Events Center. After that, we have women's basketball at 7 p.m. and it's supposed to be a really good game. Hopefully the women can pull out their first conference win. Unfortunately, that's all the time I have for today, so be sure to catch all these events this weekend. Go Buffs, and back to you guys at the desk.
We know you've been fretting this entire show, but fret no more. We have the answer to this week's trivia question. In case you forgot, we asked, what's the men's basketball team's record this season when they wear white uniforms? And the answer is, drum roll please, 13 wins and 0 losses. That's right, our Buffaloes haven't lost a single game this season when they wear their white jerseys. If the team wants a chance at making it deep into the postseason, they'll need to pick up the pace when they wear black.
Well, every week we like to troll Twitter to get some of the funniest moments from athletics. And this one comes from Colorado Buffaloes tweeting, "She's a soccer goalie by day and a dance-off winner by night. # Go Buffs." Jocelyn Orejol really had her feet moving during last Wednesday's basketball game against Stanford. She's a sophomore on the CU soccer team who can also move and groove, and ended up winning a gift card to Corelli's for her impressive dance skills. Maybe one day she can teach me how to dance. Well, unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today, but thank you once again for joining us.
Enjoy your weekend and remember to tune into all the Buffs action this weekend.
Thanks, guys. Enjoy the sun, and hopefully it doesn't snow.
And tune in next week, again, this Friday, and have a great weekend.